good, bro? Like, all right. What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. I'm gonna run some quick errands, but I wanna let you know what today's video is about. I got a buddy coming over with his OG M2, so an N55 M2, kind of like the one that I had in mineral gray, and we're going to be installing a new lip from Souvenir Motorsports. You guys know Souvenir, they do a lot of my carbon fiber stuff, but they sent me a lip for an M2 and said, hey, can you like test this out on an M2, see how well it fits, and just do a review on it. So that's what we're gonna do. I believe this lip is called like the P lip, I want to say, but I'm gonna have it linked down below. It's a pretty cool design, very simple. It reminds me a lot of the forged P lip that I had on my F30. However, this is like your standard 2x2 weave. But overall, the design looks really clean. We're gonna see how it fits. We're gonna install it and just do a little review on the product. My new couplers come in on Tuesday. Today is Saturday. Couplers come in on Tuesday. And then on Wednesday of this week, you guys, we are going to be dynoing the car. I know a lot of you guys were wondering about numbers. I'm gonna finally dyno this thing and see what she puts down. I think we're gonna do the 93 pump gas tune on the dyno as well as the E50 blend tune on the dyno. So we're gonna give you both numbers. If I had to guess, I would say it's probably gonna be like somewhere around 500 and somewhere around 600. If that's what I had to guess. Mineral gray on the M Performance coils. Manual. What a beautiful car. This thing is just gorgeous. The paint is in really good condition. Makes me miss my old M2. These cars just have such a presence to them. And he's a manual guy. Would love to see it. All right, guys, so this is the lip right here. Like I said, this is from Souvenir. We haven't installed this on a car yet, so we don't quite know how it's gonna fit. But we're gonna do the basics. Do some 3M. We'll do some self-tapping screws, and then we'll do some nuts and bolts, just a couple. I think nuts and bolts will probably go right up here. And the rest, this is all pre-drilled too, so it should be pretty easy. But let's go ahead and jack it up and then get the process started. All right, guys, so here's the lip. We're gonna do a little test fit first and throw it up to the bumper. We got the M2 on jack stands. So the fitment, as you can see, just from slapping it on here, is really, really good. Go around the edge. I mean, butt to butt, on each edge of the bumper. First thing I like to do is look at the lip, get under the car, and look where the factory bolts are. Sometimes you'll reuse factory nuts and bolts or like the plastic rivets that they have. And then sometimes you'll be drilling. It just depends on the lip and where it came from and how well prepped it is. But I think this one is gonna end up being kind of a mix of both. Some factory stuff and then some new stuff. So we'll start there. So 8mm all around plastic rivets over here. All right, so if we look under the car, you guys, these are the 4 8mm that I'm talking about that are right here. And I think what we're gonna do is I'm gonna pop these 4 8mm off, and then these bolts up front, I'm gonna use nuts and bolts. Anytime you guys are doing front lips, at least put a couple of nuts and bolts on the front lip rather than just using only 3M and self-tapping screws, because it will come off. It's just a matter of when. Not if. Taking these 4 8mm out will give me access to behind here, and then I can put my holes where I want them. The rest is gonna be self-tapping. It looks like it kind of just goes through the edge here, and then of course 3M, and that will be plenty to hold this on. This is also a very light lip, so before you do anything, make sure you guys clean the bottom ends of your bumpers. Just use isopropyl. You can get this anywhere, Walgreens, CVS, Amazon. I'll link it down below. Grab yourself a rag, and then clean off the bottom end of the bumper to make sure that the 3M sticks nice and good. This 3M, a lot of people ask me which kind of 3M I use. This is the Extreme Hold by 3M. I think it's up to like a 30-pound test, but this is the stuff you want. A lot of the stuff that they give you with these, like this stuff, does not work very well at all. Get this stuff. All right, so I threw all of the 3M on that I'm gonna use for this. Just kind of spaced it out where I need it through here. Looking at the lip and everything, I think we're gonna go with 2 nuts and bolts right here, top dead center. I think that makes the most sense. You could also just do this one, or you could do all 4, but I think that's honestly gonna be overkill. The rest of these holes, you have 4 on each edge, 4 on each edge. Those will be self-tapping screws. And that should be plenty to hold this onto the front of the bumper, even at high speeds. So what we'll do first is we're gonna take off all of the red portions on the 3M, go ahead and stick it onto the bumper, make sure we're happy with the placement, and then we'll start with the drilling of the holes for these two. We only need to drill out 2 for the nuts and bolts, and then the rest of it's self-tapping, so we can just literally screw it in. So the tricky part with the nuts and bolts on this stuff is you have this long flap piece of plastic, and what you got to do is kind of snake your hand back there and throw in your nut or bolt. What I'm going to do is actually have the bolt facing downwards, so the nut will be on the bottom, which is just going to be a lot easier for me to tighten it up. So here we go. It's a hell of a lot easier doing it like that. We got her. We got her. This reminds me of the this reminds me of the intercooler job. When I spent 4 hours in this position trying to get the intercooler to meet up with the charge pipe. All right. Cool. All right, so here is the finished product of the lip. We're still up in the air here, and we're gonna go get some other footage for you guys, but just do a quick little recap and show you guys up close while it's jacked up, all of the fitment and everything. This, it's dead on. The fitment is very, very good with this lip. I've definitely had some lips in the past that don't fit well, and this one, as you can see, is right where it needs to be. All the way through. No gaps, no weirdness. All the way through. And the thing that I really like about this front lip is it's a very simple design. Kind of reminds me of the GTS splitter that they make for these, but it's a little bit different. It seems to just form fit a little bit better. It's more of a lip over a splitter, but I really like it. And it comes all the way across. The GTS splitter doesn't come out at all. This one comes out a little bit, so you have a little more profile on the side. And I just think it really fits this style of bumper and doesn't take away from the design too much. It's very, very subtle. Really good looking front lip. And then just to show you guys a recap of everything that we used, we got the 3 self-tapping, actually four self-tapping on each side, and then 2 nuts and bolts right there in the center, and that should be plenty. I don't see this thing causing any sort of issues with high speeds. It's an extremely light lip too, so you've got your 3M, you've got your self-tappers, and just the insurance policy will be your nuts and bolts. Frank is letting me drive the M2, and oh man, this is not good, guys. I might have to buy one. It's manual too, just like my old one. Sounds good. Yeah, these clutches are so smooth in these cars. Gosh, this car's good. Man, that N55. Yeah. So you have pretty much everything I had on my car. Stage 2, front mount intercooler, intake. You have dowmpipes? Or downpipe? Yeah, yep. Downpipe, and then...
I have a catted high flow cat.
High flow catted downpipe, and then you have, it's a stock exhaust system. Stock exhaust. So you got the diverter valve, you've got the boost pipe, right? And then the charge pipe, and then the M Performance coilovers, yep. Right? Oh yeah, dude, that totally reminds me of my old car. All right, we just parked up at the spot, and you guys can get an idea of how this lip looks with the entire car. This is a great representation for this lip because the whole car is, for the most part, on the exterior is stock. We don't have any other carbon except for, obviously, the mirror caps, which complement the front lip really well. But you can kind of get an idea of what it looks like if you just bought the car and threw it on. But yeah, it looks really, really nice. That's a great lip. So you can kind of envision it. I mean, it's I ran a very similar lip on my M2 to this, and then I ended up going to the Vorsteiner style lip, which I also really like, that Souvenir sells as well. But those, you know, and then continuing into obviously your side skirt extensions and then whatever you want to run on the rear. It's nothing too crazy, like it doesn't stick out too far. It's, you know, 2 inches, something like that, maybe, but it looks really good, man. Then he's also got the CSF front mount intercooler here. So that'll probably do her. If you guys are interested in buying this lip, I'll have it linked down below. Looks really good. Frank, thank you again for letting me use your car today. Appreciate it. All right, guys, so we're gonna wrap this one up. Like I said, I'll have it linked down below. Big shout out to the guys over at Souvenir for sending out the lip today. But that'll do it. Thanks so much for watching. See you in the next one. Peace.